Hello, welcome to my tutorial videos. I pause my music and go here. So right now we're at the start screen. When you download the UDK, you're going to have these two things automatically, usually unless you change it, go to your desktop. So this one is for if you have a finished game you have completed, or you download a completed game for UDK, or you can play the demos they already have on there. You can go to there, but we're going to be working in the editor, so I'm going to go ahead and click that and open that. Okay, now that it's opened, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of these things. Okay, so first off, when you open UDK, you're going to get this welcome to UDK. You might have some startup things when you first download UDK. You might have some startups, but I've had this downloaded for a while, so I don't really remember what those startup things were. When you get here, if you go to getting started, this is documents that will help you get to know certain things in UDK. Definitely read them. Video tutorials, I'd say there's about 80 plus tutorials on almost everything in the UDK, but they are long videos, and again 80 plus medium to long videos, and they got really annoying to watch, and I'm a dive-in person. I just go and start doing what I want to figure out and do it for myself. Not always the best idea. For instance, if you have a time limit to learn something, it's best to watch the tutorial so you're not fidgeting around and not learning anything from what you're trying to do. So you can close this, you can click new map, but it'll give us the option in a second. We'll close that. This is the content browser. You can search up anything in here, for instance, wall, all assets. Make sure, I want to point that out. When I typed in wall, nothing came up, is because I had this selected, this one folder which has particle effects, which obviously won't have walls in it. So as soon as you load your UDK, you want to click all assets, because that'll select all of these folders and any of the packages down here that you have also downloaded and added yourself, or came with what you downloaded the first time. So it comes with all these walls. So that's the content browser. You can add things, and we'll definitely get back to that in a second. So we'll minimize that. I want to pull this back over here. Put this right there. Okay. So right here is the general window. Now throughout the tutorial videos, I'll explain some of these on the way. Again, the UDK company videos that they the videos that they did themselves, the first 8 videos go over these, all of the things in the toolbars, all of the different toolbars, and all of the buttons in the toolbars. So if you really want to get down to knowing every single one, I don't even know what some of these mean because they've been of no use to me yet. So if you really want to get to know every single one, I definitely recommend going and watching those videos. First things first, we're gonna go ahead and get a new map, just so you guys know what to do. So when you go to choose a new map template, which when you first loaded it, that screen came up when it said new map at the bottom, which is what it would have brought you to. You go to a blank map. Blank map will bring this up. It's a void map. It just has nothing in it. It has one builder brush, and basically nothing around it. You can edit it and add stuff in if you are experienced enough to add stuff in. But you can go ahead and pick one of these that are already selected for you. Afternoon lighting, morning lighting, midday, night. So we're going to go ahead and choose midday. But this is messed up. Why? It doesn't matter anyway. We're going to... but instead, I don't want the background around it. I just wanted it for the setup of lighting and everything that was already here. So we're going to use this here, this platform, which is the default platform. You can actually search it It is if you right click something, anything that you have got from the content browser, you can go to finding content browser and we'll go down here and maximize it again. It'll search it and pull it up. It was a template map floor that was here that I wanted set up with a material already on it. And this thing is just the lighting box. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and start showing you what we're building. So what I am building today is I'll show you a semi-finished product. It's not at all finished because I wanted to get started in the tutorial instead of worrying on finishing a product that wasn't going to necessarily matter. So this is what our finished product is going to somewhat look like. Sky is a mountain in the background. There's some barren land, kind of a balance between vegetation and barren, and this one odd building in the middle. I like it because I feel it kind of symbolizes like, I don't know, something you would see in a really odd game about a dream or something. Kung Fu Master, I don't know. So we're gonna go back to new again. Midday lighting. Delete so go ahead and get started. So how we get started is so you see this is a builder brush. You can build the CSG and the platforms and a bunch of stuff from this builder brush. To get started, you can right click the brush on the side. Any of these, they all create their own brushes, but all of them are basically irrelevant to us, besides the cube one, and occasionally the sheet and the staircase. Maybe the sphere if you are creating a background like the midday lighting that we had selected originally. So we're going to set in preset values. These values don't really hold any significance except to the build. I do recommend that you stay in the range of 256 variables, like 128 or 512, even bigger, even smaller, 64, because it fits the grid the best, because the grid goes based off a 32 scale, which can be changed to any of these, but see how it goes, 8, 16, 32, 64, it fits the grid. So we're going to keep it on 32 right now, just because you don't want everything going off too far off the grid, because things get thrown off. So right now, we're just going to change a few things to presets I already had them as. This one is going to be, we're going to start off with the middle platform for the thing you did see. It's going to be 512. Then we're going to change, actually, Y is 512. X is going to be 640, and Z is going to stay 256. We're going to go ahead and build that. So this is the middle platform. And then, okay, I forgot there was that in the middle. So once you have that built, you have the builder brush dimensions are set, but the shape is not there. And what we want to do is go ahead and go over here and CSG add. Now we're gonna go over here to CSG. Now CSG stands for constructive solid geometry, which is basically a solid modeling giving us a shape and object to the thing we're going to be building. So we're going to click CSG add. Now the builder brush has created the CSG. Now technically the CSG is not fully there. If we go to lit, you're going to see this, but it's not going to be it's not fully built into the level itself. That's the best way to explain it. So we're going to go here. Now up here, I'm going to explain these really quick. This is build geometry for visible levels. Basically going to build all CSG, VSP, whatever you've added to the level, object-wise and geometry-wise. Build lighting, that's fairly blatant. It's going to build the lighting for the level. Paths, for instance, player paths where you start off and things like blocks moving. And everything else. Or you could go to build all. I recommend you do build all or build lighting once in a while for big levels, because lighting will take a very, very long time for bigger levels. So right now we're going to go ahead and just build the geometry. And when you build the geometry, it brings up this window. You can bypass these normal errors. Okay. Not really important. So don't worry about those errors again. What we're going to do is now we're going to create the second platform, which is when you started, you saw the stairs. Then there was a platform here. Then there's a second platform right behind it. Two platforms on the side, and a platform on top, of course. So what we're going to do is create the second platform. Here. So we're going to go again. We're going to go to the brush builder, and the middle platform is actually the same size. So we're just going to copy this. There's lots of ways to copy and paste things in the UDK. You can do the normal Control-C, you can do the right-click copy, you can do the edit copy, but then you can also do, you get Alt and drag, that copies it, and I didn't drag it enough, so we're just going to drag it a little more. That copies it right off the one you dragged it off of. So if you look at the screen, wow, that is ridiculously zoomed out. So in this screen right here, we have both of them. The builder brush is there, but we can move that out of the way. They're both there, lined up perfectly. Okay. So now we have this. They look perfectly lined up, and we can move on. So there, you have 4 ways of doing that now. Now we're going to work on the left and right ones now. So go ahead and go on the builder brush. There's going to be some new values. So we're going to do X is going to stay 640. Z can stay 256, but we're going to have to find a new value for. So we're going to do Y. Z as 768. Or I'm sorry, Y 768. Okay. So now the builder brush is slightly bigger than it was before. And we're going to drag this right here. We're going to zoom out of this one. I'm going to go ahead and hide this if I can. Hide selected. Just so the lines are gone and aren't less distraction. And I'll show you that again. If you go to visibility, you can go to show all and that thing will pop right back up. And you can select things to show only, or you can to hide only. So we're going to go ahead and hide that selected. So this is going to be the side. So we're going to drag this down. And then we're going to add the CSG. Now you can see in this picture that it is there. And we will zoom this out again. Go ahead and drag this up. We'll drag this back up again. Now I know I could have copied that the same way we did these two, but this is the same thing. So it is okay. So now we have the basis for the platform. Now all we need to do is go ahead and add the pillars next. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the content browser, and like I said, you can find a lot of stuff in the content browser. So we're going to make sure we're all assets. Then we're going to type in. If you're following me word for word on this level, that's okay. But I do encourage you to strive away from doing exactly what I'm doing. But if it helps to do exactly what I'm doing for you to learn, then that's fine. But get a little creative and add your own stuff to it. We're gonna search for the pillars, and the pillars are called. Oh, if we just search pillars, I don't remember the exact name of them. They were, oh, I remember. Okay. SNEC. This is for the exact pillars I used in this build. So if you want these exact pillars, or if you want some different pillars, that makes sense. So I'm not going to search in the whole thing, but there's the octagon one. Now there's other ways for you to add this in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that down, and I'm going to place that there. Now, that pillar is massive compared to what I want it to be. So, what I'm going to do, we're going to scale it down. So down here, if we, that was 1, so if we divide it by 4, obviously that's 0.25. So we're going to put in 0.25. I think that's a little too small. We'll do 0.5. That looks like how I would want it, I think. Just about how I would want it. Looks a little big, but it's okay. Nothing has to be perfect. And then we'll go to this one and we'll drag it down. Okay. Actually don't want this one in the corner. I'm going to pull that out. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and this is going to be an interesting way of doing it. You can easily figure out other ways of doing it, but what we're going to do instead is this way. Then we want one down here. I think what I want to do is we are gonna make this a little smaller. But we're gonna make the Z 0.5. If it doesn't stretch out the, let's zoom in on that. Does stretch out the material too much? Doesn't look like it stretches out the material too much. So I think we will do 0.5. And that is the Y. So we'll do 0.5 there. And then 5 there also. Which makes it look a little bigger, but a little closer to what I want to. Okay. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to select this again. Alt it over to right there. Looks about right. And then Alt it over again. Oh, that didn't work. To exactly there. Oh, that's not where I want it. There. Back it up. This one I want in the corner. Just because it's going to be on the corners of the whole building. Oops. I'm going to drag this one to. Do the same to all of them, to each corner. If my Alt button will work, of course. That'd be nice. Okay. There. So, now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and select all of these. Now, of course, you could have done each pillar itself. Don't want you selected. Or you. What I'm doing is, I'll go here. I'm selecting each pillar. And we're going to copy, paste, and right click. So now that we have a second set of them, what I want to do is transform. There. So we're going to mirror the z-axis and drag that up to about right there. We're going to go ahead and zoom in on this. Just make sure they are connected. So now we have pillars going up, and they look pretty good. They look like they are meant to be connected. If we look closely, there. So we have all the pillars down. Now from the pillars, we're going to move to the top platform, which is basically going to be really easy. Alt, drag this up too much, right there. And now we have the second platform. But see, now the pillars are a tiny bit too tall. So what we're going to do then is select all of the matching material. I think you could have done it with select all matching static masses, but it doesn't really matter. They're all the same material, so all of those would have selected all the pillars. So what we're going to do is turn this down back to 1. And that kind of makes them really tiny. 1.25 kind of matches them up. That works. Go ahead and try this out for size. Okay. Now we got all of those selected. Hopefully it didn't select the bottom ones. Nope. We're just gonna grab this guy and drag it down to right there. Now that looks a lot closer to this building. What we can do with this building is edit. So I'm gonna show you geometry mode for the first time. And in geometry mode, it allows you to completely customize the VSP you add and the CSG you add and things from both of those. So we're already selecting on edit. Right now we don't really need to get into the other things. So you can select one side, and with selecting that one side, we can just drag that one side up to be equivalent to that. And now that building is equivalent. And then also I want to pull this out a bit. So this building is a little taller than that. But actually, I think instead what we're going to do is bring this down to, and I want to show you how to do something. We're going to do extrude, because I'm going to want to put a different material above the part of the door. So we have the top selected. Now this extrudes it, doesn't edit it. This is going to add more. Basically another, I don't want to say another shape because it's part of it, but you can see how these ones aren't opposite. They're similar because we added, there's another vertex, another line, and another surface there. We're going to go ahead and get out of geometry mode, and now that we have that settled, we're going to move on to the stairs. With the stairs, we're going to type in an exact stair unless you want to go in and just type stairs. Well, actually, we can just type in stairs and I'll tell you which one I'm going to be using, I believe it is simple, this one. So we're going to do, grab this, put it on here. And as you can see, these stairs fit it a little bit different. We will drag this up, equal to that. And there we go. Now this has been the first video. There'll be a few more videos following this one up, where we will next start on the roofs, finish up the stairs positioning, and the side rails for the stairs, because there are holes in the side of the stairs that don't have materials. We will, like I said, we will do the roofs, we will have materials, we will hollow out that building, add the texture for that building, and I will walk you through and teach you a few more things inside these videos. But for now, we will go ahead and cut this one.